So liberalism, progressism, or progressives, is it good for overall United States? Let's see. Let's see what we have. So we have here opportunities and logic. There is always advancements. This is one good thing about liberalism, is the progressiveness of knowledge. They want to know. They want to do things that make sense. All of these things are not always paid for with the Ace of Pentacles, but there is this need for progression about logic, science, math, that type of stuff. We want knowledge and not feeling. The conservative reading started with feeling. This one starts with logic. It started with water. This starts with air. So there's your direct difference right there. One is logical, one is emotional. So this one is trying to be more logical based. And this is not to say, this is just, take this grain of salt, because this is a blanket reading. I'm not going person by person in the world. Just liberalism in itself starts with logic and not emotion. Four of Swords and the Hand of Fate. The problem here is, well, because the conservative got the Four of Swords as well, there tends to be a, okay, I'm voting for you, you take the reins. Now that's how our system works. But if they are no longer taking the reins, then this is where you should get involved. This is the thing that is hard to get a progressive or liberal-minded person to do, is to be constantly involved in politics in some way. Like, you don't have to go out and protest every single time. You don't have to go out and be some soldier for whatever cause. But when something does come up, like, say, for instance, Donald Trump is complicit with bounties being placed upon his soldiers, then this is where you should go out and be more active and more vocal. This is not, I mean, if somebody wants to sell a geisha Halloween costume and you say your culture is not a costume, or some Native American garb is a costume, don't protest the costume shop when your government literally was complicit in the killing of 20 soldiers. Like, take that same, you can do the protest the Halloween shop too, but take that same energy and then come back here. And then this Four of Swords means rest, retreat, and regenerate. So this is why someone else is always acting on your behalf. The Star and Love. So this is where, again, right there in the middle, in the conservative one, was community. They have a very strong community. They stand together a lot. And here, liberals tend to look forward, not backwards, and not in the present. They need to look in the present as well. But they look forward to good times ahead. You need to use, because it's kind of like, okay, our next generation is going to fix this. Well, this one can fix this. It's kind of like the Mars and Earth argument, to where We can go turn Mars into Earth. Well, go turn Earth into Earth. Quit destroying the planet you already live on. So recognize the love that you already have. Here with the star, that's for the future. This is commitment, love, and all that. So take into account that you can fix social problems right now. This does not have to be the next generation's responsibility. Justice and the serpent. The serpent lies in waits and then strikes. Trying to find the right time to do things is not always effective. You have to sometimes create opportunity. Justice is about fair and balance. In this in particular card, Justice is blind, but she's covered in ivy, which means she's been sitting there forever, lying in wait. A sly, subtle approach is needed. Not in this case. You see there's a serpent around her foot, so she's trapped there. So she's been here forever. The scales are on the ground. The sword is over her lap. She has no sword in her hand. So, political action, again, back to here, and back to here, is not the strong point of liberalism, because it's sort of a rant and rave energy that exists in liberalism and not a action. For instance, Donald Trump should have been gone by now, but it's hard to get Democrats to raise up enough steam. It's like, okay, we'll wait it out. Meanwhile, the scales are on the ground. She's disabled, basically. And then you have the stars and the devil. These stars can be like the stars in Lenormand. It could be like technology or something of that nature. This is also news coming from afar or a very long journey, something like that. There tends to be appealing to liberals is easy. You have to go social first. This air and this Ace of Pentacles, there's your logic. I want to do things logically, but I can get a politician to tell you about some good old healthcare for all, but never tell you how I'm going to do it. Just like I'm going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. So there seems to be a commonality when it comes to strength. Community for both conservatives and liberals. But when it comes to conservatives, it was all about being led astray because emotions. And this one is a course of inaction is what debilitates liberalism. You vote for the people you know are not going to give you the things you want. It's just your only choice. And so this is what seems to be the crippling factor, the devil and the liar, to liberalism, because they can't seem to get their person at the top of the ticket. And so, yes, it's good. I didn't get anything horrible, but I did get some advice for liberalism. So there you go.